Mistakes are proof that you are trying. Hi, this is Kalpana Reddy from Krushi High School. Today, I'm here to discuss about class 6, lesson number 3, that is Penamakuru, a village in the Krishna Delta. Okay, so before moving into the topic, I would like to wish you all a happy and a healthy morning, children. And as said, that mistake is a proof that you're learning something, or you're understanding, or you're putting in efforts. Okay, so don't sit idle. Even if you're committing any mistakes also, what you have to do, you have to try and try. Don't sit idle thinking that once you have tried and you were failed in that. Okay, so practice makes man perfect. So one, like when you're doing mistake, it tells that you're trying something, you're putting your effort, right? Okay, so let's move into the class, children. So today, as I said, today's topic is about a beautiful Penamakuru village, which is located in Krishna Delta, right? So firstly, I would like to share the location of the place, where exactly it is located. It is located in near Vijayawada. So I hope everyone knows Vijayawada, isn't it? So it is located in the city of Vijayawada. It's a very small village. Okay, and actually where Vijayawada is located at the head of Krishna Delta, isn't it? So you know that what do you mean by delta. In the previous classes also we have learned delta is nothing but when a river flows with a great speed. Okay, and when it flows, it carries lot of silt, sand, humus, etc., and it becomes very heavy, and when the speed slows down, it's split into two. Okay, and the portion which forms in the middle in a triangular shape, that is called like a delta. Okay, so on its northern bank, a barrage was built across the river at Vijayawada in 1853. Okay, so in the upcoming slides, I'll show you what is barrage. Okay, you need not worry of it. Okay, children. By the British ruler, actually that was built on the river Krishna in the year 1853 by the Britishers. You know that before 1947, Britishers were ruling our country, isn't it? So it is now called as Prakasham Barrage. The water is diverted by this barrage into canals and is used to irrigate about 12 lakh acres of land. So this barrage is used to irrigate. Actually, this is used to irrigate. Irrigate means what? Irrigate crops is nothing but watering the crops. Okay, so when you grow the crops, you need water na. So this canal, what is there, so Prakasham Barrage was like built on this river Prakasham Barrage, and a small canal was, you know, canal is not nothing but like a long thin water like stream, what you can say, which is used for irrigating crops or boats to move or transport the things from here to there, etc. Okay, children. So next, so here in this picture I've shared it, you can see just so the location of the village or the Vijayawada or the Prakasham Barrage image also I have shared it. Okay, children, so here this is a Penamakuru. Okay, so now Penamakuru exactly from the Vuyuru, it is 3 kilometers away. Okay, and after crossing the Bandar Canal, so we reach to the Penamakuru. So are you all ready that today we will make a a trip to Penamakuru village? So are you all ready to join with me, children? I'll show you a beautiful place, okay, which is completely covered with greenery. Okay, so let's move. Yeah, so a beautiful image of Penamakuru, a journey to Penamakuru, right? So are you all ready? Okay, let's learn about what is the speciality of this village. Okay, so a village in the Krishna Delta. So this is one of the village which is placed in Krishna Delta. Okay, I'll show you some more pictures also. See, you can see it is totally covered with greenery, isn't it? You can this type of scene generally we find in movies nowadays, because even in villages also nowadays we don't find this type of, I mean to say, sceneries, isn't it? Because everywhere industrial areas is occupying the places. So I don't think so in like most of the village are still like this. Okay, Yes, see, one more slide I've shared you. So this is the beautiful, how beautiful it is looking, isn't it? What do you what do you find in this image, children? It's a paddy field. It's a paddy field. You know, generally what we eat, that is rice. From where it come out? From paddy only. The farmers, they grow the crops. They grow paddy, which is again like transported to the, like sent to the rice mills. From there, again the process will go on. Okay, threshing, winnowing, and everything. Then after that, again it will come to the market. From market we'll buy it. Is that clear to you, children? Okay, so yes, so as I said, I am going to show you the image of Prakasham barrage also. So here you can see, this is the picture. Okay, children, so Prakasham barrage was built across river Krishna in 1853, right? Okay, so next, soil. Let's see like what type of soil generally we find here. Okay, so actually here we find alluvial soil in Penamakuru village. Generally the total land is covered with alluvial soil, which is mostly fertile, and it like you know that alluvial soils are good for irrigating crops, isn't it? It's mostly fertile, and it is having the like capacity of holding water. Okay, it is having a capacity of holding water. So when it holds the water, so what happen, even it can reduce or it can stop soil erosion also. Yes, and it is also known as, in Telugu we call it as Undru Bhumi, which is rich in nutrients. That means it's very good soil for growing crop. This is the reason in the previous slides you have seen that how green it is, isn't it? The village is totally covered with greenery. That means as the soil is more fertile there, it's very good for growing crops. So farmers are getting good returns. Okay, next, in some part of it we do also find clayey black soil, which is called Nalla Regadi Bhumi, and it has the like I mean to say, it has the quality of self plowing. So what exactly happens is, when like when it rains, okay, so as it retains the moisture in it. Okay, it retains the moisture in, and after few like few months, when it get completely dry, so you will find the cracks in the land. You will find the cracks in the land. That is called self plowing. Self plowing. Okay, next comes the sandy soil. So towards west and south we find the sandy soil. Sandy is nothing but Isuka Bhumi. In Telugu we call it as Isuka Bhumi. Okay, okay, next move on to the rainfall and irrigation. Okay, children, so here you can see the image. Okay, so generally in this village or in this area, they receive the rain in the month of June to October. Okay, southwest monsoon, and the temperature will be very warm, so which is very suitable for grazing the crop throughout the year. So it rains from June to October. Okay, it rains from June to October, so which is very compatible for growing the crops throughout the, yes, as the temperature will be very warm there, so it is very good. Okay, children, so irrigation from canal or borewell or tanks. So but after October, what happens, so as there won't be any rains or scanty rainfall will be there, what happened, they'll find some other source of water for irrigation. So there the farmers, they find some other source of water for irrigation. So that is called example, canals and borewells or tanks. So there the groundwater, so here as it the village is situated very near to the Krishna river. So there easily you can find the groundwater. Okay, there easily you can find the groundwater. Generally, between 12 to 25 weeks, you can find the groundwater. But what happens? So this is the reason why everyone started, I mean to say, digging bore wells, because it costs very less. It's very economical. It's very economical. That means what? Very economical means what, children? It costs very less. Generally, see, for example, in Hyderabad, like if you're like some of your parents may be constructing houses, like anything, they dig the borewell. It costs somewhere in the lakhs, yes, because generally groundwater level will find very deep into the ground. But the places which are near to the sea, there we will find the groundwater like hardly 12 feet or 25 feet or within 100 feet. So this is the reason why farmers, what they will do, so when there is a scanty rainfall or no rainfall, so they'll skip for the other option, that is called digging bore wells or using tanks. Okay, so that they can irrigate the crops throughout the year. Is that clear to you, children? Next, coming to the cyclone and floods. Okay, Krishna district is one of the most flood prone district of AP state. Every few years when the rains are very heavy in the catchment area, the dams get more water than they can hold. Excess water is released by the big dams. Then the flood water enters the low-lying villages along the river. This can be both very destructive and productive. Floods are also caused by cyclone, which brings heavy rainfall from the sea along with strong and which proves cottage, trees and cottages. Penamakuru is lucky as it is on the high ground and has not been adversely affected even during the worst floods of 1997, 2006 and 2009. So here what is there, children? So as Krishna district is one of the most flood prone area, that means what, generally like it is repeatedly, like we have seen that the like I mean, so this district or the Krishna district repeatedly this area will get affected under floods. Okay, so here what happened, children? So when the area get affected with the floods, so it the flood water, when it rains or when the excess water will be there in the canals, so that will be released in the low lying areas. Okay, that will be released. See, the water level will increase, isn't it, when it rains heavily? Okay, and whatever the capacity of the tank is there or the barrage is there, so they will hold that water, but the excess water they will leave into the low lying areas. So when it is flowing the water, it carries lot of silt, sand, humus, everything etc along with them. And so then what happen, it deposits there. Okay, it deposits there, so it becomes, so with that what happens, the soil fertility improves, is that clear to you, children? But sometimes what happen, floods even caused by the cyclones. Okay, so then what happens if it is by the cyclones, then it will uproots the trees, and there are chances of soil erosion also. There are chances of soil erosion, running of the soil. Is that clear to you, children? So as this Penamakuru is situated in highlands, okay, so there is less chance of getting affected by the floods. Is that clear to you, children? Okay, next. Yeah, crops. We'll talk about crops now. So I've shared the picture, children. You can just look. Okay, now monsoon crops during June and July is called Salva, and monsoon crop during December is called Dalwa. So as I said that, so they grow the crops, isn't it, from June to October, and like that they'll repeat. So the crops which are grown in June and July is called Salva, and the crops which are generally like two, this thing will be there, children. Okay, two crops they'll grow in a year. So one they'll sow in the month of June and July, and another one will be in the month of December. Okay. So paddy is extensively cultivated. Monsoon crops transplanted in June and July is called salva. So generally mostly they'll grow paddy. Okay. So monsoon crops which are transplanted in June and July. Transplanted means for sowing, nurseries. Okay. And harvested in October and November. Whereas in December, sow winter crops, that is called dalva, paddy or pulses. But nowadays what happened, children, due to the scarcity of like water or I mean, the scanty rainfall, what is happening? They are growing the cash crops also. Okay, they are growing their, as the soil is very fertile also. It's not only about the rainfall issue with the rainfall, children. So, like I mean, as the soil is very fertile also, they are also growing crops like sugarcane, turmeric, yam, and banana, and which are harvested in the month of February or March. So they are cash crops. Means cash crops means they don't grow for their own self consumption, children. So they grow to sell it in the market and make cash out of it. Is that clear to you, children? Okay. So with this, I am going to just wind up the class for today, children, for today's session. And before concluding the class, I would like to just explain about the homework also. So you can see page number 21, how can the floods be both destructive and productive? So we have two advantage and we have advantage as well as the disadvantage of floods. Okay, so that you have to explain. As I said, that they will carry lot of sand, silt, humans, etc., and they will deposit, which makes the soil very fertile. And next thing is what? Erosion of soil, uprooting the trees. Okay, so that you have to write, you have to add points and make your own sentence and write, children. And collect the information and pictures of recent flood prone states. So this is an activity, you can say, children. So this you have to do it by your own. Don't again turn the pages in the textbook. So you have to, recent flood affected area means you can take Maharashtra, Odisha, etc. So like browse the images in the Google, you'll get. Okay, and you take a cutout of it, paste it in A4 sheet paper and write about that. Okay, and write about, collect some information about that and write it. Okay, children, this is an activity, what you can say. Okay, so how can we minimize the damage done by floods and cyclones? So what type of measures can be taken to minimize the damages? Okay, to minimize the damages done by floods and cyclones. So this is for your homework. So it's very easy, only reasoning is there, children. You have to do it by your own. And many of them are posting that you're unable to download the app and everything for Google Classroom. It's very simple, children. Firstly, you have to download your Google Classroom app from the Play Store. From Play Store it will be there. You download the app. There it will ask to register, it will ask the email ID. You can log in with your parents email ID. Okay, then it will ask for the login of the class code. So then whatever the class you like, whichever the class you belong to that particular group, I have sent the code. Okay, with that code you can enter it, and then again go to the option share with your class. There again you will get one option, attach file. So there, whatever the photo like before opening the Google Classroom app, you have to take a snap of your homework. Okay, so attach the file, whatever the option you'll get, go to that option. From there you select the image of your photo homework, what you have done, and then post it. It's very simple, children. In the upcoming sessions also, I'm going to post one video regarding this Google Classroom only, if possible. So if you have any more, if you want any more clarification, at least you can see that video and you can do it. Okay, children. Okay. Thank you for being connected with me. Bye-bye.